During football season, the Lowell Pink Arrow Project raised thousands of dollars for the fight against cancer and to help support the Gilda's Club of Lowell. Today, the project expanded beyond the football field, raising awareness on how others can get involved. Today's events were entitled Inspiring Our Youth to Greatness. The Lowell's community goals is to encourage other towns like theirs to take on events. Pocky Kelly, wife of former Grand Valley and current Notre Dame head coach Brian Kelly, was one of the keynote speakers. Pocky is a breast cancer survivor and started the Kelly Cares organization to support breast cancer research. Also speaking today was former Detroit Lion and current ESPN broadcaster Chris Spielman. Spielman's wife lost her battle with breast cancer in November of 2009, and since then, Spielman has also been encouraging communities like Lowell to raise awareness and help in the fight.
Well, I think when you look at life and you determine and define wealth, wealth is not how much we have, but how much we give. And so when you look at communities like this, it's a very wealthy community.
We as individuals can do a little and make a huge impact if we work as a team. And I think what they've done here in Lowell with the Pink Arrow program is obviously shown that.
The K-Wings host the Alaska Aces in Game 4 of the Kelly Cup Finals tonight at Wings Stadium. Kalamazoo's win in Game 3 Tuesday night cut Alaska's series lead to 2-1. The K-Wings have a chance to even things out and do something that hasn't been done since winter, hand Alaska back-to-back losses.
Quick start, good support in the defensive zone, and good support actually all over the ice because of how aggressive they are. If we support each other well, that'll be the biggest difference.
Just play our game for 60 minutes. You know, we come out, we dump pucks, we hit bodies, get everything to the net. You know, be disciplined, don't take any stupid penalties, and you know, just find a way. It's the finals. You got to find a way. Nothing else matters.
For Fox 17, I'm Richelle Savage. Thanks for joining us. Michigan announced earlier this year that it would play a night game against Notre Dame, the first in Michigan Stadium history. Now the Wolverines are going to play two in the primetime spotlight. Only the second game will come on the road. Michigan and Northwestern will announce tonight that the two will square off in a night game at Northwestern, scheduled for October 8th. The two will kick off at 8 p.m. and the game will be televised on the Big Ten Network. Following 5 straight home games, the kickoff against the Wildcats will be Michigan's first road game of the 2011 season. To pay or not to pay, that is a question the Big Ten is asking. The conference is debating whether or not to provide some additional funding to student athletes to help pay for things like transportation and clothing. NCAA President Mark Emmert backs the idea of helping with athletes' living expenses. With the deal, athletes would get $2,000 to $5,000 per year to cover those expenses. Other conferences are also considering similar deals for student athletes. The Red Wings organization signed Lauri Filppula to a contract a year ago, but the Finnish star and brother of Red Wings center Valtteri Filppula is taking his game back to Europe. Lauri, who led the Grand Rapids Griffins in scoring this past season, is headed back to Finland. Filppula had 20 goals and 64 points in 76 games for Grand Rapids in 2011. The K-Wings secured a win in last night's Game 3 of the Kelly Cup Finals, meaning Kalamazoo only sits a game back with the series standing at 2-1. The K-Wings scored 3 unanswered goals for a 4-1 victory on home ice. The good news, the K-Wings continue this playoff on home ice both Friday and Saturday night. And if things continue to flow like they did in last night's game, this team will be closer to a championship.
It's huge. I mean, you know, 3-0 is a huge hole. 2-1 is a whole different ballgame, especially because they won their 2 at home. If we can win our 3 at home, we go back to Alaska with 2 games to clinch it. So it's enormous.
You know, to go down 3-0 against the Alaska Aces, they're one heck of a hockey team over there, and you know, that would be one feat that'd be pretty tough one to climb out of. And you know, we felt like we got ourselves back in the series by getting that opportunity to win last night.
Finally, a bet is a bet, right? Well, PGA Tour golfer and Wisconsin native Jerry Kelly was living up to a bet on the golf course. Kelly had to wear TCU's Super Frog costume after he lost a bet to fellow golfer J.J. Henry regarding the Rose Bowl. TCU beat Wisconsin in the Rose Bowl 21-19 back on January 1st. Kelly said, "Thank goodness it wasn't 90 degrees and I have a lot more respect for mascots now." I'm Rochelle Bonk and that's your Fox 17 Sports. Thanks, Steve. It was a typical spring day here in East Lansing. Slightly overcast and a little bit chilly, but we saw some bright moments from the Michigan State football program.
Our teammates, you know, we just know when we go out there for every practice, we go out there to compete for a Big Ten championship. We're not looking to just go to a bowl game. It's the Rose Bowl or national championship. Man. Like, that's what our goal is.
There's a great history here, a great tradition here, and I think our players understand that, and they need to understand that they'll be challenged to play for championships on a yearly basis, and that's our goal. That's where we're going.
Now, Draymond Green, the Michigan State basketball player, did make a surprise appearance on the roster and made it in for a few plays today, but Coach D'Antonio says, I think he should probably stick to basketball. In East Lansing, Richelle Resume, Fox 17. After going 11-2 last season, Coach Mark D'Antonio is excited for this season. After already completing one of his goals of being Big Ten champions, now they're looking forward to maybe going to a Rose Bowl this season. In East Lansing, Richelle Resume, Fox 17. Now, if you have any questions or comments about tonight's programming, please feel free to contact the station at 517-349-1232 or look us up online at hometv.net. I'm Richelle Resume. On behalf of everyone here at Home TV, happy holidays and have a great night. Last Tuesday night, Okemos High School faced off against East Kentwood in the girls volleyball regional semifinals. In the first set, the Chieftains hung right with the Falcons, but after an East Kentwood timeout, the game quickly changed in favor of the 37-14 Falcons. East Kentwood went on to win the set and the match 25-13, 25-12, 25-13. East Kentwood's first-year head coach Desiree Hennis commented on the strengths of her team's performance.
We got off to a slow start, but then after that I felt like we controlled the tempo of the game. So our outsides hit really well. We served aggressive, and that's what we've been focusing on in practice. So.
But Jamie Ianni, head coach at Okemos High School, wants to make sure due credit is given to her team.
The score does not indicate at all the competitiveness of the match. The stats don't reflect the competitiveness of the match. I thought we competed really hard. We pushed them to play, and obviously they respect our program because they played very, very well. They didn't have any lulls. They weren't a team that looked like they were going to walk over us and got lazy. They played really, really hard, which is a credit to my program and my kids because they respect that.
With Okemos' loss tonight, East Kentwood will now go on to play the winners between Mattawan and Holt in the regional finals. In Kentwood, Richelle Resume, Home TV. Headed into this past weekend's game, Mark D'Antonio and the rest of the Spartan football team looked to bounce back after a disappointing loss to Iowa the previous week. Edwin Baker took the game into his own hands, deciding a loss like last weekend's wouldn't happen again, rushing the ball 30 yards for a touchdown and putting the Spartans on the board. Again in the second quarter, Baker just wouldn't back down, punching in 2 touchdowns within 6 minutes of each other, leaving the Spartans up 21-0 heading into halftime. After a 24-yard field goal by Dan Conroy in the third, Minnesota fans finally had something to cheer about with a 9-yard pass to Marquise Gray and a successful 2-point conversion, but the score was still 24-8 Spartans. In the fourth, with 5 minutes and 24 seconds left, Baker again decided he would make his presence known, running the ball 1 yard for the final touchdown, closing out the game 31-8 MSU. Baker finished the game with 27 carries, 179 yards, and all 4 Spartan touchdowns. He later commented on the importance of the upcoming bye week.
We got a lot of players, little nicks and bruises. So this bye week gonna help us tremendously for our up and coming game against Purdue.
Headed into the bye week, Michigan State must win against Purdue and Penn State in order to remain Rose Bowl eligible. In East Lansing, Richelle Resume, Home TV.
That she's going to be okay. There's a chance she might be done for the year, but we're going to say our prayers and hope she can continue on with us. She dislocated her kneecap, and they put it back in down there, so we'll see tomorrow what's going to happen with her.
The game seemed extremely physical. How did your girls react to that?
We knew it was going to be physical. I mean, that's their game. They press like crazy, and they make it physical, and they make it ugly, and that's a credit to their defense. And, we weren't perfect, but we handled it enough to, be able to go over the top and get some buckets in transition. And like I said, we shot well enough from the outside, so, we stayed in it.
What are you liking about your squad during this playoff run? You're a coach. What are you liking so far?
Well, I like the way we attacked the glass. Lindsey Burnside was just kept the ball alive, and we got some putbacks, and Abby Cole blocking shots, and they're just excited to be here and just ready to keep this run going.
Coach, they have an all-stater in Hoekstra that it was no secret they like to go to down there, and you kind of shut her down there before.
Yeah, well, we knew about her, and Sarah Kober, our senior, did a great job defending her. She can shoot from way out, and she hit some, but I don't think she was the difference. I think Sarah Kober did a great job on her.
What are you going to do now to prepare for Thursday's game?
Well, I have a scout over at the University of Detroit Mercy, and I'll get the tape tomorrow morning or maybe tonight. And I'm anticipating we're going to play Detroit Renaissance, and we're just happy to be there, and we can compete with anybody, and we're just hopefully we can get Alex Law back, but we just got to push on.
First of all, congratulations again.
Thank you.
The atmosphere was absolutely electrifying the whole game. How did your team react to that?
It was just amazing. It was my first time actually being in this gym, so our team was just really excited to be here. We looked down the stands, there's so many people, and we just didn't want to disappoint ourselves or our fans, so we came out here and executed.
Also, you were coming in to play the former Class A champions. How did you feel about that? How did your team feel?
It was amazing, letting everyone know that we can play with anyone, and that we have one goal, and that's to be the state champs. So.
Did you focus on anything during practice before tonight's game? What was the main highlight that you wanted to be in on tonight?
Definitely breaking the press. We knew they were going to come on and press. Definitely just getting the ball up the court, and I have my seniors to thank. Sarah Deal and Kobe and Bernie definitely led this team tonight, and I thank them. So.
It seemed like tonight was extremely physical in every aspect, on offense and defense. How did you guys react to that?
You just got to keep playing. We can't control what the refs do, so we just got to keep our heads up. So.